Mercedes-AMG built the most powerful production four-cylinder engine on the planet. That engine is hand-assembled, literally one technician, one engine, signed off with a plaque. It ran forged pistons, a reinforced crank, a twin-scroll turbo that spools faster than anything Audi's ever put in a hot hatch. And on a racetrack, it didn't just compete with the RS3. It lapped the track quicker than the Audi RS3, the BMW M2 competition, and 8 different V8-powered AMGs, all while making less than 420 horsepower. And then Mercedes killed it forever. Meanwhile, Audi looked at their ancient gas-guzzling, regulation-dodging 5-cylinder and basically said, "Nah, we're good," and gave it another facelift. If you've ever cross-shopped these two, and if you're into German performance sedans, you already know the 45 was supposed to be the smart pick, the engineering nerd's pick, maybe even the faster pick on paper. So why is the RS3 the one everyone's actually buying, building, and bragging about? Why does the RS3 own the comment sections, the dyno videos, the resale market? Stick with me because the answer is way weirder than Audi makes a better car. Honestly, in a lot of ways, it doesn't. Let's start with the part that's going to make CLA owners feel something. The CLA 45S Final Edition makes 416 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque from that 2.0-liter Turbo 4, hitting 60 in about 4 seconds flat. That's not just fast for a 4-cylinder. When that engine debuted, it was the most powerful series production 4-cylinder in the world. And it wasn't some random AMG flex either. The original 45 badge goes back almost a decade, starting with the A45 hatch and the genuinely unhinged GLA 45 SUV, before the CLA 45 ever existed. Mercedes had been refining this formula for years. Here's the part most RS3 fans don't want to admit. The CLA 45's all-wheel drive system is genuinely more advanced. The AMG 4MATIC Plus system can send up to 100% of rear axle torque to either individual wheel using a proactive setup, while the RS3's Haldex system is fundamentally front-biased and reacts to slip instead of predicting it. In simple words, the Mercedes can actually rotate through a corner like a rear-drive car when you want it to. Owners consistently describe the RS3 in stock form as nose-heavy with persistent understeer. It pushes where the CLA rotates. Mercedes even leaned into that. The CLA 45S comes with a genuine drift mode that disengages the front axle entirely, something the RS3 simply doesn't offer. So pause for a second. More power, a drift mode, a smarter all-wheel drive system, a hand-built exotic engine, and a faster lap time against the actual RS3. If you handed those two spec sheets to a stranger with zero brand loyalty, they'd pick the Mercedes every time. So why doesn't anybody talk about the CLA 45 like it's the king of this segment? Here's where things get weird. Go look at the used market right now. CLA 45s with 30,000 to 50,000 miles are trading around $40,000, roughly 15 to 20% less than a comparable RS3 with similar mileage and similar power. Same horsepower range, arguably a more sophisticated drivetrain. And it's sitting there cheaper because, and I'm just gonna say it, the CLA badge has never carried the same enthusiast cachet in North America as the RS3 platform. It launched as Mercedes' entry-level sedan and never fully shook that stigma, even in full AMG form. Think about that. The car doing more interesting engineering is getting punished in resale value because of what badge is on the trunk. That's not a performance conversation anymore. That's a vibes conversation. And vibes, weirdly, might be the entire reason this rivalry tilted the way it did. Even the ownership costs lean Mercedes' way, if you can believe it. Audi's 5-year prepaid service package averages out to around $802 per visit. And RS3 owners also deal with Haldex fluid changes, DSG service intervals, and prop shaft bolt replacements on tuned cars. Meanwhile, the CLA has its own bills. The first 10,000-mile service runs around $450. The 20,000-mile heavy service can hit $1,100. And you should budget for thermostat housing and water pump issues once it's out of warranty. Neither one is cheap to keep on the road. But notice neither of those numbers is the deciding factor either. People aren't choosing between these cars with a spreadsheet. Because here's the thing about the RS3. It's not winning because the chassis is better sorted. It's barely sorted at all from the factory. RS3 owners routinely upgrade stiffer front sway bars, fix camber, and replace rear bushings just to correct the stock handling balance. If you're cross-shopping these two and considering coilovers, the RS3 practically demands them, while the CLA45 is more sorted right out of the box. So the worst car, on paper, needs more work to even handle properly. And people still want it more. Why? That's basically it. Sound. That uneven firing order on the inline 5 does something to your brain that a Turbo 4, no matter how exotic, just can't replicate. It's genuinely iconic. Visceral, raw. The single biggest emotional draw of the entire platform. One forum thread I found summed it up almost perfectly. A guy cross-shopping both cars said he'd take the CLA if he was keeping it stock, but the RS3 if he was planning to build it. That one sentence might be the entire rivalry in a nutshell. You're not buying a spec sheet, you're buying a feeling. And feelings sell cars way better than dyno charts ever will. But sound alone doesn't explain a dominance. Here's where it actually gets interesting. And this is the part most people watching this video genuinely don't know yet. The aftermarket gap between these two cars isn't close. The RS3 has the deepest tuning ecosystem in the compact performance sedan space. Revo, APR, Forge, integrated engineering, with a well-documented path to 500 plus horsepower, hybrid turbo setups, high-flow downpipes, E85 tunes, and owners pushing 600 horsepower on built setups with forged internals. Meanwhile, the M139 in the CLA, still growing, still thin by comparison, fewer shops actually know the engine inside out, and pushing real power stresses the stock turbo and gearbox faster. So even though the Mercedes engine is, on paper, the more impressive piece of machinery, fewer people know how to safely make it scary. The Audi turned into the default platform for guys who want to build something. The Mercedes stayed a sealed, factory-perfect appliance that most owners are scared to touch. Would you actually pay more for the car with the worst factory chassis just because the aftermarket is bigger? Honestly, a lot of you would. That's not a knock, that's just how this hobby works. But none of that, not the sound, not the mods, not the resale snobbery, is actually the biggest reason Audi is winning right now. This is the part that changes the entire conversation. Mercedes just killed the CLA45S permanently. With an electric replacement for the CLA class arriving, Mercedes is sending the gas-powered CLA45S off with a final edition. And AMG is phasing out that 2.0-liter turbo engine entirely, in favor of electrified models or straight 6 and V8 power for future AMG cars. No more Turbo 4 hot compact from Mercedes. Not next year, not after. The next generation CLA goes all electric and hybrid, with the company emphasizing efficiency and software over a raging combustion AMG engine. So while Mercedes was busy retiring the single best engineered 4-cylinder of the modern era, what was Audi doing? Giving the RS3 a midlife update, keeping the 5-cylinder completely untouched under the hood, with one outlet flat out, asking whether this is the last hurrah for the 5-banger before emissions regs eventually catch it too. So let's be honest about what dominating actually means here. It's not 0 to 60, it's not lap time. The Audi RS3 arguably wins that fight. It's survival. Audi didn't out-engineer Mercedes. Audi just refused to leave the battlefield while the other guy packed up and went home. That's almost more savage than winning a drag race, isn't it? You don't even have to be better. You just have to be the last one standing when the music stops. Now here's where I'd love to hear from you, because the comment section on this topic gets heated every single time. Forget the badge for a second. Forget the resale snobbery. If both of these were sitting on a lot tomorrow at the exact same price, the hand-built 4-cylinder rocket with the smarter all-wheel drive and the drift mode, or the raw, unhinged 5-cylinder that needs a suspension refresh to behave, which one are you picking? And the bigger question, the one Mercedes fans really don't want to think about. Now that the CLA45S is gone for good, is the RS3 about to become the only car like this left on Earth? Because if regulations eventually do catch that 5-cylinder too, there might not be a next rivalry to talk about. There might just be Audi, standing alone.